And here we go. Woohoo! Hey there, everyone. This is Robert Fuller, aka Ghidorable. I'm your friendly neighborhood admin on Facebook, GBL Global, Discord, GBL Global, and mod at GBL Reddit. Boom, trifecta covered. Anyway, happy birthday to me. Today is my 2-year anniversary in the game. Dedication, man. 730 days. There's plenty out there with many more days. Not everyone can make it. It's not easy. There's days where it's brutal. I get smoked like anybody else can get smoked. Many games over, but it's a long run. It's not a sprint. You're in it for the long haul. Daily grind. Here we are. I want to give some big thanks to players that have helped me throughout my time playing. Specifically, I want to throw big shout outs to Jabroni Nation 1, who's not only his videos, but also his mentorship and help in the game has helped me directly and the entire community by always being forthright with good information, as well as sharing all the battle memories for other players to make wise decisions on. If we didn't have that information, many of us may have made worse decisions with some of our G-Stones. Also, tremendous mods and admins of mine, Big Mac, Le Chef. They're my go-to guys when it comes to all things GBL. They're whiz bangs when it comes to deck building and creative usage of units. Really impressive. I mean, if I want to just mail it in, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's this unit? Let me know." They're my guys. They always know. They know how to throw together great decks. Also, of course, Sir Mealy. My first anniversary, I mentioned it. If you haven't followed his YouTube videos, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. That's for sure. I used all his old video. I dug so deep. He gets probably some random pings all the time from super old videos I like. Trust me. Or I comment on. Uh, other great players that have really helped out or been solid friends include Slambo, who I actually got to meet recently, which is sweet. Hopefully, I get to meet a bunch of the other players out there. Rick the Squirrel, whose earlier videos with Sir Mealy gave me a lot of insight as to the creative depths that this game can actually go to. A lot of players out there, the negative Nancy's, if you will, they like to think of it more as a shallow game, but it's actually a lot more deep than that. It's not just your levels, it's not just your battle memories. Heck, I just lost to someone that had like 4,000 wins just earlier today. Should I lose to worse than that too? Trust me. Some other great players in the community like Euphoria, who just had a big run recently. I believe of top 3 off the top of my head. He's a low spender. Goji Berry, big shout out to Goji Berry. Yeah, you know who you are. Super creative, free player. Maybe he does passes. I'm not sure, but yeah, when it comes to community insight, he gives some really creative usages with units out there on the Facebook page. So, I'm rambling a bit. I did this last video too. Oh well. Couple things I want to throw out there too. Point out, Lon and XL Beef recently made top 3 runs. Lon only had just over 200 days of login. XL Beef has been around a long time, but both of those players are Battle Pass only players, and they took 3rd place. It's not out there enough. People don't realize it enough. Sometimes it's not just, everyone thinks, oh, I spent a ton of money so you get ahead. No. There's a lot of grinding, man. You got to have the right decks built. You have to have the best usage of those decks. And if you grind hard, you can make it high. All right. So all depends on what you want to put in, man. If you want to put in, you'll get out. So anyway, now that we've said all that, instead of back ending loading this with a bunch of other information, I just wanted to throw out there that before you see this account fully, since last August when I took 3rd place, I have been saving and stashing game currency. So my goal is to make a king run in August. It's going to be nuts. I know it. But having done a couple top 100s, I've done a top 10, and I've done a 3rd place. I have a good idea what it takes. I'm preparing myself. I've been preparing my account all the way since last August. So here we go. Let me show you around. So Rank 20, player rank 27. I always throw up my credentials on my profile. And then the date is 4/21/24. I like to throw that up there to show my anniversary. So that's when I started playing the game. Current trophy ranks. I've pretty easily stayed in the top 101 to 200 range, usually right around 150 every single month for months now, without a ton of crazy effort. I don't mind getting the random rainbow map for the next season because it gives me a shot at going for one of the season new units versus a choice map. So uh, I happened to work it out so that it stayed right at 30,000 wins today. So clearly, I've been pretty busy. So that averages out to 41 wins per day. Um, that's definitely not my average. I'd probably say I've always tried to play around 30 or so, between probably, 25 to 35 battles a day. Um, and when I did my top 100, top 10, and top 3 seasons, that's when I added a ton of those wins and really raised up that average. Here's a current deck I have slotted right now. That's this is deck number 1 right now. It just happens to be. I usually try to have my deck number 1 as my either mission deck or at least my leader icon deck I'm going for. So whatever leader icon I'm going for, that'll be my deck number 1, and or it might also be my mission deck. I like to do that, then people know a lot of times what I play, because sometimes I'll just stick with that deck all day, and then I'll just switch it up the next day too. So that means people actually get to see what they play against, and I'm not actually hiding it. But I do use all 8 deck slots, so give you an idea of my wins on each map, which really surprised me actually because I never look at this. The fact that London actually had my highest win total, not by much. Now, New York City Day, I used to love that map. That was my go-to. Now I don't really have a go-to. All I want is more maps. I just want more stages in the game. Oh my gosh, I want more stages so bad. There's only 4. Please give us more stages. That's my number one complaint. My absolute number one complaint is I want more stages. So, but not much down below because they were only around for so long. I didn't play a ton during the last singular point crossover, so I didn't get a ton of wins on that. Or it just fell where I never played it too. So that's just luck. Well, that gives you a little idea of what the account looks like. Obviously, your player rank's important for your uh, leader, hit points, and attack. So let's go down to deck. Try to show you around. Try to keep this a little more brief than last time around. So I'll show you the 1-stars. I just recently spent 1.5 million or 1.6 million G tokens to raise up my 1-stars and 3-stars 2 levels. So yeah, it costs a lot. I'm slowly doing that over time. Eventually, I'll probably stop at 40. For most players, pretty much all players should stop all their 1 through 3 stars at level 30. There is no reason to raise them past 30. I mean, if you want to play them in most ranked games, you could use any of them at level 30 or below. But 30 is the real stopping point. There's no, unless you're insane like me, there's no reason to raise them above like that. So yeah, there's the 1-stars. Psychic Chorus was my first maxed 1-star piece. And it was my first maxed overall piece, actually. And now you can see all my 2-stars. I did push and spend a ton to raise them all to 40. Because I was running a few decks with Battle Memories that boosted 2-stars. So I was kind of pushing all in on them. And I really wanted all these pieces strong for All-Star battles, too. And then they end up making All-Star battles even tougher lately with the changes to the game. So, yeah, the All-Star battle pieces, you really want all your 1 through 3 stars to have some levels. So, level 20, 25, and 30 are your main goals. So, let's jump over here to 3-star. And then I got some of my favorite pieces, by the way, that I wanted to max, that I wanted to bring to the game. Like, I love Angarius, anything on Angarius, I love. I wanted to go Tango in a bad way. I love Geigen 1972. So I don't care if it's for the game. I just want the pieces maxed. That's if I love a unit, if I love a kaiju from a movie, it's gonna get raised up. That's my goal. I want to have fun with it no matter what I use it for. So I like Gotengo, and actually Gotengo's legit now. So I raised it up. But yeah, there's nothing stopping me with my favorite pieces. So yeah, there's all your 1 through 3 stars though, in level order as rarity. Keep them all together. But Yeah, interesting though. Just looking over this stuff. I don't look at this stuff, and there's some pieces I don't have. But energy cost, whatever. So let's do this. Do the 4 stars now. So here's all my 4 stars. Rainbow is my number 1. So I maxed the shop out. All my daily sale units, I get 7 offered to me a day. 6 in the regular daily sale and 1 in the paid G token section. So you can get, if you max them all out, you get 7 offered to you a day. So, but even with that, I have decided to skip any units that I need that are at level 28 or higher, which is going to be a lot of these units. I stopped buying in the daily sale for right now, so I can just raise up the lower level units that come to the shop. So there's been days where even with 7 4-stars offered to me, I'm buying like 1 or 2 4-stars a day. That's it. And I know I have a ton of G tokens, but trust me, if you're buying out, some of these expensive 1 through 3 stars, or there's days where you're buying 5 to 7 pieces, your G tokens go really fast. Because believe it or not, at one point I had actually hit 1 billion. So obviously, I'm a lot harder grinder than a lot of people out there. I don't expect everyone to do that. I keep all levels of play and all levels of players in my mind whenever I'm talking about things in the game and helping other people. So you can see all my levels, all my various characters. So something I do, I default to, is I usually leave it right here so I can see what units I've upgraded that I need to upgrade for the day if I maxed or I leveled something. Otherwise, these are the units I'm hanging on to right now. If you look down at the bottom, I have 8 G Light. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually save them for a lot longer. So I won't spend my G Light till April 30th. Just how it shows you on the date there. And then we know the next, somewhere around May 31st is when the next season will end. So I know I can save those until May 31st, which allows me to, A, get to see what units get buffed, but like the May 31st one, most likely the season will start. So I'll know what units get buffed, and then I'll actually get to see which units get season boosted levels. So I could either go all in on a unit so it'll get even more levels, or I can be like, okay, well, I don't need to G-Light this unit because it's getting boosted levels this season anyway if I'm going to play with it. So some stuff I try to do to hedge, kind of like spending the G-Lights. Obviously, I collect all 3 from the shop and get the 1 from the EX mode points. So yeah, I'm all in on the G Lights. 2,000 for any a newer unit level to me is a good deal. So so these are the units I'm targeting to use that on in the future. I held out. I held on a couple of these units. I didn't leave the season with them at level 5. They were like 3 or 4, and eventually I scored a piece of Kaiser, Alt, and Zilla, for instance. So I got them to 5. I didn't have to spend anything on them. So I mean, really, the goal for all of these is level 5. Once you get that, sure, you want to get them to 10, but after that, I used to put, like, my goal was to push these units up to 15 afterwards, but now my number's kind of 13 really now, because like 11 you can ace them and get them to like 30 on a season boost, for instance, um, if it's their season. But for the way I look at fragments is that's like a partial way to a level. So like if I get a unit to 14, it's already partially on the way to 15. Um, and then I also found out like usually within a season or 2 after they tend to give like fragments for a unit level. So I lowered it down to like 13 instead of 14. So really like I'm at the spot where if I can get it to 12 or 13 with the G lights plus like the pieces you see here, that might be my cutoff. So I'll stockpile the pieces I collect, and then I won't use those pieces until it's after level 10. So the G lights can be used to push a unit up to level 10, and then I'll use the pieces to push it from 10 to 13 to 15, whatever. So that's how I do it. And then obviously you can see I have an insane amount of G material. I told you I'm saving for August, so that's my goal. I want to make a run. I got a lot of GMAT saved. I don't feel like I have to buy any more at this point. My goal right now is to stockpile G stones. My phone app does not have all my G stones. My and app has most of my G-Stones. So I'll give you an idea on the battle memories, where I'm at with this. I'll show you my top battle memories. Should give you pretty much everything. We got them in rarity order, so I can give you an idea what battle memories I'm working with. And the sad part is, like, I could probably sell a ton of these at this point, because there's 4 or 5, I don't know, probably 4 to 12 go-to battle memories I use, but a lot just don't see decks anymore. So, in case they buff them ever, which would make people lose their minds because they sold them, including me, that would be a hard pill to swallow. I have a lot of variety, so I have a lot of options. I just want to be able to play with whatever toys I want, how I want to, so you can kind of see where I'm at with all that. I even marked a bunch to, like, consider selling, for instance. I unlocked them in case I want to sell them. And I didn't upgrade them, and evolve them in case I want to sell them. So I'm just leaving them unlocked in limbo here. I don't know. I could sell them for some more 3-star gotcha, but if you see here, I have a ton of 3-star gotcha too. This will make you puke. Yeah, that's insane, right? So, and don't forget, everyone, get your free battle memory spin right there on the free sprint spin every day. I've already gotten 5 total 3-stars that I don't use, but I was able to sell just from that spin. Let me see, go back here. See if I forgot anything. I don't know. But yeah, so, like, if I just go to the 5-stars, see what I'm working with. I mean, that Ghidorable one on the top. Anything you see within your deck, obviously, is in my deck. I don't know if they can filter that. No, upgradable. No, they can't. Okay. Can't filter by in your deck, but yeah, and, like, for instance, that Chibi card that came out recently, that's a really good card. It's not a earth shattering, game changer, but for the majority of the player base, that Chibi card's great. The Rodan one, I still throw that in decks at times for fun. The 7% for hit points and attack, and throwing in +2 speed, that's the future of the next big card that comes out. It'll have all the stats of the Rodan card, and then probably energy as well. But anyway, I usually leave it on these because that's what I tend to use more. I really feel like the red and the green are lacking more so right now. I really feel like they really need to play some catch up on the red and green cards for battle memories. Go to studio mode. Oh, what do you know? This video is longer than my last one. I failed at my task, and I'm rambling. So, if you look here, I'm working on Burning Godzilla 2019 for my 50,000 fans to get my G material, and majority of my units are level 24 or 25. I have a bunch at 30 that I can ace if I want to, 30 plus. Anyone that's 35, I push to 35, is then it lets me know that I've already got the 50k fans for the G material. That's my number I push them to. And if I'm going for them, or I plan to go for them, then they're at rank 34. So I'm working on Burning Godzilla, Aqua Mothra, Armor Mothra, and Godzilla Evolved will be my next G materials I work towards. So you really want to choose ones that have lower timers to save your G-Stones, or to go through your the shows faster. But all of my Godzillas are at rank 25 if I haven't raised them to 30. So all the Godzillas are at 25, and then the rest of the units I have are all at 24, unless they're just lower level. If they're lower level, then they haven't been pushed up to 24 yet, and there they sit. Show you some of the. I'm not going to scroll through all the titles. That's boring. So, obviously, I have all the basic 1 through 3-star units, and then a few of the 4-star. And then, obviously, my leader icons I'm working through. See, that's what the little crown is in the top left. Those are all my leader icons I've earned. And then here's my level 50 units. Those are the ones I raised up to level 50. And then all the other fun ones I've collected. I buy every one of the icons and titles in the All-Star Battle. I like to have all the icons. I like to have all the titles. I like to switch it up. I switch them up pretty often. I just think it's fun. It's unique. Whatever floats your boat, man. So, even though for saving event points and whatnot, people say not to, that's the first thing I buy. And plus, I have a lot of the units that they put in the event shop. I already have at high levels, so it's actually not advantageous for me to buy them anymore, unless they're newer units. So I can keep buying those titles, keep it fun. I'm looking forward to a 1984 icon in a bad way. Please give us 1984 Godzilla. So anyway, big shout out to all the names I mentioned earlier, all of my mods and admins. Um, I think, oh my gosh, I forgot the Goji Fen. Oh my gosh, one of the nicest guys in the whole community. I didn't even think about him. Goji Fen was another one that's helped me out along the way, helped a lot of players out along the way. As always, one of the nicest, players out there. I know there's plenty that keep beat up on him, but we all gotta eat at some point, man. We all gotta beat somebody. So even the nicest guy in the community can get his dubs somewhere, somehow, right? Um, but man, I'm having a blast. I'm still working like crazy, helping the community out. I'm trying, Rico. Trying real hard. uh, so yeah, um, 2 years. I have obviously support from family and friends and everything that when it comes to leisure time with the game. That's become my main hobby. But I also collect all the Godzilla toys, a lot of Haya, things like that too. But and I'm working on this Showa era pieces to get into the game. I'm really working hard to get it across the socials and get everyone involved. And my next couple I plan on working on are the 1 through 3 stars, and the next one after that will be the leaders. Um, I'm sure they're going to be doing something for the June anniversary, so there's no reason to blow your G stones. Save them up, use those for the battle and raise them. But hopefully they work on the leaders. The leaders, there's a reason why there's like 5 main go-to leaders, and there's so many more. There's 41 leaders. Come on, 41 leaders. There should be way more versatility and universal use of all these leaders, and it's just not. That's sad. And they just need some help. They don't even need that much help. Some of these units need very little changes, and they'll make a huge impact. Some small wording, rules changes, damage, area of the damage, things like that. So there's ways to fix these things. We're just gonna work on it as a community. We can all individually submit certain little things to Toho, but if we en masse send in inquiry, they have to listen. The whole community is saying these things. I don't know how this is gonna work. Um, I saved this last bit till now, and maybe it's part of the reason why I'm rambling so much. I feel like I want to get my voice out there more. I'm not one to like, hey, look at me, kind of. I'm not that kind of person. But my son bought me a microphone, and I was thinking about starting a podcast. So I've been kicking it around for a while, and I think I will finally give it a go. And I don't know if it'll be a bi-weekly or monthly or what. I'll keep them to 30 to 60 minutes. I'm going to start doing a podcast for Godzilla Battle Line. There's the big announcement. There you go. So, bless you all. Bless all your support on Facebook, Global, Discord, Reddit, Sir Mealy's Discord, supporting all the streamers out there, like Newcomer Francis, GBL, all you streamers that have given your time and, positive, negative, whatever it might be. I appreciate all of you. It's thankless stuff. It's passion stuff. That's it. You're doing it because you're having fun and you're passionate about the game. That drives me more. That makes me want to help more. And I've given a lot of time to individuals. I've given a lot of time to the various pages, and trust me, it's not it's not always thanked. It's a message back and into the stratosphere of the internet. So it's not like someone's like attaboying me all the time right afterwards. So yeah, it's about the passion of the game. And that's it. I love all the universe of Toho and Kaiju and Godzilla, and support it from comics to shows. I watch the movies with my sons, play games with my sons, comics. I got digital and physical comics, you name it. But anyway, y'all, maybe you won't listen to the podcast after all if I ramble on like this. But hopefully I'll have some guests on as well. So that should be somewhat intriguing. Talking about games, talking about units, breaking things down, maybe giving real insight. It's a little bit harder to do on the emotionless pages of social communication. So anyway, Hope all's well with y'all. See ya on the battle line.